Okay. Hi, Icy. It's baseballgeek / Rob. Fellow Christian. Let's establish that from the get-go because I get the feeling that you think somehow we're on opposite sides. So we are not. Maybe you don't feel that way, but it seemed that way. Other than, I don't think that we should be immune from critique for each other. Your video is awesome. I gave it a 4. You chided me for the 4. 4 is, I think, pretty cool on the YouTube scale. So I'm saying I thought it was pretty cool. And because I gave an atheist video a 5 mark. Watch that video, you'll see why. This is a guy who I've seen Goat on Stickin' before, who has been sort of party line guy for a while, and then this video is where he starts to go, this is some of it, of the concepts, the atheist evangelism and stuff is getting a little bit ridiculous, and it was great. I didn't like his choice of words with the F Islam, but the actual words instead of the F. But nonetheless, the message was great, so credit goes where credit is due, especially because I was so surprised. That's easily a 5-star. Yours is a 4. Pretty cool, awesome. I don't give 4s that easily unless it's musical related, and I really like it. So feel honored if you can, if I matter at all to you, and I don't know whether or not I do, but hey, how cool is it you made a video for me? So I sort of feel like I do. But I'm encouraging you. That 4 was encouragement. I thought your video was awesome, except we talk about, now, we may delete these videos, I'm not sure, because the premise of your video seemed to be this comment that I didn't even direct to you. I directed it to someone else. I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce his name. I'm just going to show it here. He made some comment. I interpreted it maybe incorrectly. There's a reference there to the Old Testament, that it's a biblical view that the Old Testament is not going to be changed. And so I was directing this particular individual actually to Jeremiah. I should have put 31:31. That was the portion where there's the talk of the new covenant meeting fulfillment in Jesus and Jesus' death on the cross and resurrection, but dying for our sins, all that good stuff. The new covenant was fulfilled. That Jesus fulfilled the law, came, and that's why we don't stone homosexuals anymore and things like that. It's maybe near and dear to my heart, at least at that point. Maybe I misconstrued and sort of did that quick response to something just because something's fresh in my mind, because there's a lot of discussion on Stickum and arguments on Stickum where Christians can't really defend themselves that well. Jeremiah 31:31 is the perfect place to go to when people say, well, why aren't you stoning homosexuals according to Leviticus 20 and all that good stuff. I think if you have further support for that, good. For me, that's how I rationalize it. So, that being said, now we go to the points of your video that I didn't like, and they're very small. They're just the 2 parts. I forget the second part. I'm going to have to go back to your video and look. But Psalm 45, when we look at Psalm 45, I made the comment. Here's the comment that I made to you. I will show that now, just talking about Psalm 45 being a wedding psalm. And then I tried to make a cute little play, and unfortunately, I guess it wasn't as obvious as as I thought. I was a little more clever, perhaps. I used the exact phrase, instead of using God, I used the word video. So the video, your video, would be so much more effective to non-believers in my view without it. The video and your video, of course, meaning the same thing. So in the case of Psalm 45, line 7, where you mentioned you love righteousness and hate wickedness, therefore God, your God, has set you above your companions. Grammatically, if I look at this as even a believer or a non-believer, I can't see that this means 2 different people. This is the comment is being. This is a poem that's being thrown out in general, and grammatically, you can take out your God, which is put in between commas, and the sentence will read, you love righteousness and hate wickedness, therefore God has set you above your companions. The point is, therefore God has set you above companions. God, not just God, but your God. That's the point. And where I thought I wanted to critique, I thought the video, the only small critique that it was deserving, but enough for a full star, because it's going to, that's all that people that don't believe are going to focus on, is that you're making a grammatical mistake, at least in my view, and I think that the average person's view. So it fails the video fails because you know how people are, especially atheists are, they're going to pick at straws, and then it looks like with the strong arguments, and you mentioned Genesis 18. Genesis 18 put right smack in here and throw away Psalm 45, and the very next thing that you had too that seemed to be ambiguous and not as clear. There's so much clear stuff that you put in the video regarding the Trinity. I'm totally with you. Great job. Great job. 5 stars if you didn't have Psalm 45 and then the subsequent thing that I forgot about. Okay, are you better with me now? So, and hopefully I cleared up the misconception. By the way, you were explaining to me about Jewish principles and the Talmud and all that stuff. I happened to be Jewish for 36 years before I found Christ, so I know a little bit about it. You might have enlightened me a little bit, so I won't be so prideful as to not say that. However, I appreciate your work, and same with Investigate Islam. The only thing is I think you guys get a little bit... maybe a little too negative than I would. And again, there's the critique again, but your efforts are appreciated. We're trying to spread the gospel, and that's good. But I want non-believers to look at this and ponder, as opposed to look at something and go, that's a grammatical error. It's early in the video, or it's sort of in the middle. I'm going to throw out the rest. I'm not even going to listen to it. I see Genesis 18, you're right. That's the one that should have been in there, and I would tell you, re-edit this video, take out that Psalm 45, the thing right after that talks about I forget, and put in Genesis 18, and you get your 5 stars, okay? Thank you, iceyyy. God bless.